Hi everyone! I'm so excited you decided to embark on your crochet journey. Today I will be showing you the absolute basics of crochet and what you need to get started. The first thing you're going to want to do is find the yarn that you want to use for your project. Then on the label you'll see these needle size recommendations and hook size recommendation. I generally stick to 1 to 1.5 above or below this. So here it's calling for a 5.5 millimeter hook. I like to use a 6 for looser projects or a 4 for tighter crochet projects. As you can see here, this is a medium size 4 worsted weight yarn. To get started, sometimes I like to pull from the center just because it comes out seamlessly and it's not wrapping and rolling all around. Or you could pull from the outside, doesn't really matter, it just depends on your preference. So I actually don't have a 5.5 millimeter hook. That's okay. Today I'm just going to be using a 5 to get as close as possible to what's on the label, and then I'll show some different swatches using different size hooks to show you the difference. But to get started, there are a couple ways to essentially start your project. One, we can make a chain and work in rows, or we can make a magic ring and work in a circle. So I'll start with a chain. What you're going to want to do is create a slip knot, and you'll do that by wrapping the yarn around 2 of your fingers and then pulling it through to make a slip knot. So I'll do that one more time. Wrap around 2 of your fingers, cross it in front, and then pull it through in between. And now you have your slip knot. So I've inserted my needle and tightened the hook. You can, let's see, pull it back out. You can tighten it by pulling on the working yarn. So this is your tail, and this is your working yarn. Pull on the working yarn a bit, get it tight. Now how I hold the working yarn, I will grab it with my pinky, and it's just loose enough that I can still pull it through, but it's giving tension to the working yarn, right? So I'll grab it with my pinky, I'll wrap it around my finger, and then with my thumb and my middle finger, I'll grab the tail. So that gives me tension in this direction and tension in this direction. Here, right? So that will keep our work stable as we're working on it. To start the chains, I will insert my hook under the working yarn, grab it, and pull through. And that is your first chain. So we'll insert our hook under the working yarn again, grab it, and pull through. One more time, under, and pull through. And that is a chain stitch, and you can tell by these V's right here. So you have 1 post, 2 posts making that V, 1 and 2, there's another V, 1 and 2, the third V. I will go ahead and chain 10, just so you can get a nice foundation to keep working. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and as I work up, I just move my fingers up as well to keep it stable. Alright, so that is a chain. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. To start building on this, we're going to work in this direction, but it's going to be in rows, this way, this way, this way, right? So it's going to do that kind of pattern, and it's going to build this way. Generally, you'll always skip the first chain and start working in the second one from your hook. Now we'll move on to single crochet stitches. For the single crochet stitch, you're going to want to insert your hook into the top post of this second to last V. So I'll go ahead and insert my hook. Then I will yarn over and grab this working yarn, pull it through. Now I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over one more time and pull through those 2 loops. And that's our first single crochet. Do it one more time. So this is the stitch we just inserted our hook, you can tell. And this is the next stitch. It's the next V. So here's that post and this post, making that V. So I'm going to insert my hook into the next V, yarn over and pull through. Now I have 2 loops. I'm going to yarn over one more time and pull through 2. And that's our second single crochet stitch. I'll keep going down the line until we turn around. So now we've completed the last single crochet on the chain. And what we're going to do to turn around is we're going to chain 1. And to chain 1, we're just going to yarn over and pull through. And that is our chain. And then we'll just turn our work. Now we'll single crochet all the way across. And this time it will be slightly different since we're not working in a chain anymore. We're working in the single crochets. Now we're going to insert our hook into both posts of the V. So I'll insert my hook. You can see it's through both posts. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through. Now again we have two loops in our hook. Yarn over and pull through. And that's your first single crochet of the second row. And then we'll just keep going. Insert our hook into both loops of the V, yarn over and pull through. Now you have 2 loops on your hook again. Yarn over and pull through 2. This might be confusing if your hook is turning in strange ways. Just insert your hook. Turn your hook upward to grab your yarn, and then turn your hook downward to pull it through seamlessly. I generally go through that motion where I'm hooking like that, right? So again, I turn it upwards and then grab it by turning the hook downwards and pull through. And now see it's upwards again. Now I'll just go ahead and keep doing what we've been doing for a couple of more rows so you can see a full swatch. Now again, I've reached the end of my row. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. So now I've reached the end of my swatch. I want to fasten off. To do that, I'm simply going to cut my working yarn and then pull that last loop through. And now we have our swatch. Here are the completed swatches using the different size hooks. This is the 5mm hook, and its swatch, I'd say this is pretty close to what the label recommends. And as you can see, here's the 6, which is a pretty big jump. There is more space between these stitches. It's more flexible. This is still pretty flexible just because of the yarn that it is, but it is very tight. This one's a little bit more stretchy. And the smallest that I would probably go is the 4, and it is very tight. Still pretty stretchy, but you know, she's not going anywhere. Anyway, let's move on to the magic ring foundation. Alright, to crochet with the starting magic ring, we're going to grab our yarn like we did before with our pinky here, give it some tension, and then we're going to wrap our yarn around our 2 fingers and we're going to cross it on top. Then you're going to grab it with this finger here. So now I have tension here with my pinky, and then I also have tension in this finger. We're going to take our hook, we're going to insert it below the first post, and then we're going to grab the second post and pull it under. Now we have a loop on our hook, and we're going to yarn over and pull through the loop. Now we can let go of everything, and we have our magic ring right here. Here's your tail, which is fine. You can let it hang or pull the ring tighter. I'll go ahead and show you one more time. So again, I'm going to lay the yarn over my hand, and I'm going to grab the tail with my pinky. Then I'm going to wrap the yarn around my 2 fingers and make an X on top of those 2 fingers. And then I'm going to grab it with this ring finger. I'm going to insert my hook below the first line and grab the second line and pull through. And grab the working yarn and pull through the loop we just created. And then we can let go of everything. I'll show you what it looks like whenever I just kind of do it naturally. It's a little bit easier to see maybe. Let go of everything, and now we have our loop, or our magic ring. I like to pull the tail out so it's not wrapped around like that, but it doesn't really matter. You can leave it or not. Alrighty, so again, we're grabbing the working yarn with our pinky, just loose enough that it'll still move through, but that it creates tension. I'm going to wrap the yarn around my finger, and then I'll take my thumb and my middle finger and grab the magic ring we just created. And we'll continue on making a single crochet in the loop. And I think I will go ahead and make 6, since that's pretty typical when you're working in a magic ring for amigurumi. So I'll insert my hook into the magic ring, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull that loop through the 2 on our hook. Insert our hook into the same ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, and pull through the 2 on our hook. Insert our hook into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. Insert our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have created 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet. Let's go ahead and make 2 more. So now we've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single crochet in our magic ring. I'll go ahead and pull the tail to tighten the ring up and close that hole in the center. Depending on what you're making, the next steps will vary, but in this case, I'm just going to insert my hook into the first single crochet we made of this round, yarn over, and pull through everything on my hook, and that is a slip stitch. The slip stitch will create an even ring for your first round. I'll continue doing single crochets, so I'll chain 1 similar to how we did in the first swatch. So next I will single crochet into the next stitch, yarn over, fill up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 single crochet. So in general, when you're working into a magic ring, you'll be increasing as you come out, you know what I mean? So to do an increase stitch, we'll simply do 2 single crochet into the same stitch. So here is our first single crochet. We'll just insert our hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through those 2. And that's an increase stitch. This will allow us to keep working in a circle around our first row. And again, that's called an increase stitch. So I'll just do the same thing, insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. And then to increase, I'll insert my hook into the same stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through those 2. Can you see where the next stitch is, where I'll be inserting my hook? It's just this next one here. So if you turn it sideways, you can see the V. The V is going around. Here was my last stitch, and here's where I'll be inserting my hook next. And one more time to make that increase stitch. Then I'll just go all the way around so you can see how it will look in the end. Here's the first stitch of our last round. I'm just going to do another slip stitch. So I insert my hook and I yarn over and pulled up a loop, and I'm just going to pull that same loop through the last loop on my hook. Alright, and so if you want to keep crocheting in a circle, at this point you may need to single crochet and then increase. So single crochet in one stitch, single crochet twice in the same stitch, and then repeat that around, and then you'll just keep increasing that way. Or, you know, find a pattern that you can follow for whatever you're making. This is good for amigurumi, or perhaps if you want to make granny squares, starting off with a circle, really anything. So I hope this helped and you found something that you were able to learn in this video. And if you'd like to see more of these, please follow and let me know, and I can definitely make more of these. I'm happy to share our mutual interest in crochet and anything I can do to help you learn so you can create the amazing ideas that you have. I'd love to get us there. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!